live. You are on live. Okay, right. దాంట్లో ఏముంది ఫుల్ స్క్రీన్ చాట్ బాక్స్ తీసేసిన రైట్ బ్యాక్. నువ్వు చెక్ చేసుకో సార్ ఎలా వస్తుంది ఏంటి అనేసి ఒక్కసారి. ఎందుకంటే నేను వచ్చేసిన లాక్ చేసి వచ్చిన రూమ్కి, అందుకు ఎవరు పోకుండా నెట్ ఎట్లా పోతుంది ఒకసారి చెక్ చేయి. ఎందుకంటే వైఫై ఈ రూమ్లో ఉంది కదా.
So good evening to one and all who are present for the webinar. We can see around 57 people have already joined. Sorry for the inconvenience that we were actually enhancing session for all of you. Warm welcome to all those who could make it to the webinar. On behalf of VGIT, I welcome Mr. Murthy, who has been the senior consultant of TCS and the eminent speaker of today's session. And thank you to the VGIT management, to Principal Ma'am, to all who are present from VGIT, all the faculties and the students. And we also welcome the other college students and faculties who are attending the session today. Hope the session would be very helpful for all those who are especially about to start their career. We welcome you all. I would now request Dr. Padmaja, our Principal Ma'am, to please welcome Mr. Murthy for the session. Thank you, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone, and sorry for the delay, inconvenience caused, Mr. And
no problem.
Yeah, due to this, maybe the link problem, or I think some of them are in YouTube also. Hope all of you are safe from pandemic COVID-19 and taking the necessary precautions. And I am sure all of you attending online classes sincerely. I could see around 85% attendance in all the departments. And today's session is very important, and all of you will have a very good session from MSR, because all of you are, some of you are from second year, third year, and fourth year, and you might be having lot of doubts. What is that the industry would look like? What is that we need to concentrate during our graduation time, and what is that we need to do once we enter into the industry? All these aspects will be covered by the MSR today, and you can interact him very freely. Whatever doubts you have, you can ask him. And also during this COVID time, all of you have done a wonderful job, and especially our EC department has done. One app has been the migration workers, and they have also participated in one hackathon conducted by National Informatics Center, and they're at the final round now. At the results yet to be announced. And also, we must congratulate our CSC team. We have won recently in the Smart India Hackathon. They have provided a solution to the Adhan, and they got 1 lakh cash from the CSC team. And let's all give great applause to our students of CSC department. And there are many students who have won in recent hackathons during this COVID period, and effectively utilizing this COVID time also. Online also, many of you are participating. That's very great. Continue doing all these initiatives. All these would definitely will help for the overall all-round personality, and during your HR interviews, where you can face the interviewer boldly. And thank you very much. Without much this thing, I'll hand over the session to MSR. I would like Ballari to introduce MSR to the students.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. Now, as ma'am was just mentioning, that everybody is working very, very hard and working on internships, on courses, everything. So I think this is a very great opportunity. All the students who are attending today, you'll get a better idea about what is happening in the industry. And Mr. Murthy is a very dynamic, very energetic, dynamic person who's going to, shed a light on different fields. It's not only CSC, not only IT. He would be talking about different areas where you can do better. You can, try to fulfill all your skills wherever you're lacking. So it would be a wonderful session for all of you. Now, it's a privilege for me to introduce Mr. MSR Murthy. He is presently working as a senior consultant in TCS and has been there in TCS for over 10 years. He was also vice president of marketing vice president at Vantage Force INC. He was there for 11 months. Prior to that, he was the vice president at IMCS Group. He was also working at Value Labs as the head of business planning. There he was there for almost 4 years, 1 month. He was a part of DCL Group as the manager of corporate planning. Mr. Murthy was also a part of LG Polymers, Houston Polymers, as a senior engineer. He was there for 8 years, 4 months. And so we can well imagine what kind of experience he has. He would be really giving us a light on different areas, as all of you will have, if you have heard me carefully. He has done his MBA in Marketing and HR from Osmania University. And here we go. Here we have with us Mr. Murthy. Warm welcome to you again, sir. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Bellary, for that introduction. That 2 minutes took me back to 33 years since I graduated. Myself and Dr. Padmaja, we graduated together from the same college. Since then, we have taken a different journey in our life, and finally, we are now trying to get to meet and then probably converge here. Yeah, I'm very happy to just share some thoughts and some of my experiences to people, especially when I heard that you probably have the attendance was not limited to the final year or first year or second. It was spread across to 4 5 years.
Right.
So what when Padmaja talked to me about this, I had in mind that I will probably share what really we are seeing because I'm part of TCS now. TCS hires close to 20,000 people from college every year, and these 20,000 people they go up the roles and responsibilities, and they are directly many very few report to me directly because but there are people who line up to me and the average age is typically 27 28 years, and we are seeing so many things that happens in this journey. What happens is the brightest student in the college who did exceedingly well in a campus interview in terms of rating and other things suddenly struggles. The guy who was average and probably had one or two backlogs in some areas somewhere in intermediate or plus in engineering college, or it just touched upon the minimal requirement, he does extremely well in the role when it comes to performing. So it is a challenge for us as well as for you, but we thought this is a good opportunity for us to probably take you through what was the expectations and what was the experiences of managing people who just come out of colleges who are assigned tasks and all. So this was the intent in me trying to probably share this thought, and I would like to structure this the whole session in three parts. The first few minutes, I would like to tell you where the IT industry is graduating and how IT industry has transforming in the last 5 to 10 years, and then the next part is keenly what does that as students you see what is there in college versus what is there in industry. I think that's where the key part I would like to definitely stress and take you through some case studies or some examples of what I am seeing in the people, their perceptions and all. And then definitely I would like to answer any questions. And the one key aspect that we normally get when we meet colleges, when we meet students, and when we meet the to-be joiners is that is the IT industry made up only for the software, the computer science people, IT people, only those branches, or is this made up for all the branches? So when we see what we are normally are finding is that when people join the core branches, they plan their career in a way that they start their career in the college assuming that they're not cut up for IT industry, and eventually when it comes to the final year and they see the seniors or super seniors doing very well, then they start rushing up into preparing for IT, and they just make it or they're just close to making it. And also these are the 4 5 areas which I would definitely like to stress and take you through people. Yeah, I did not make any basic presentation per se, so but I would like to just take you to a brief slide. I think that's what I wanted to just share you, one or two. It's a 9 or 10 slide presentation which I made. Let me share you that. Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Almost
Okay.
there.
So yeah, this is the one. Are you able to see, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the title of it. In fact, thanks to Bellari and Padmaja, I heard the new word called build skill. I mean, until then I was having a different, perception. For IT industry, people build is all about, a deployment and a version of a software. But I think this is a new jargon which at least I also learned. So then this is what I was trying to tell you that prior to 2000, I think what happened is that most of the IT industry was predominantly, at least if you look at the Indian industry, it is mostly focused on exports and trying to be cost centric, cost optimization. And for almost since Y2K, until the Y2K came, the focus was just trying to be an offshore center and trying to be, a center which will help them to be having one of the other areas which they can develop cost effectively. So, and also the year 2000 saw the first dot-com era, where a lot of this dot-com started coming up and emerging. And that was how between 80s to 2000, I think the first 15, 20 years of the IT industry in India went like this. And then the actual growth started getting between 2000 to 2010, where the world started believing that yes, India is a place where a lot of things can be done. It won't be just a back office type of work, but it will be a lot more value add work can be done. So a lot of big global giants started putting up their R&Ds and their global in-house centers and potential, parallel co-development type of thing, which started seeing the value. And 2010 to present, I think it has become very vibrant, and we are probably, very innovation driven, and a lot of companies have come, and everywhere there is as good as what we are trying to do in any of the world. The one underlying thing between these three things is probably institutions like yours. I think you have been continuously trying to supplement this whole the environment where people started, contributing to what India planned, what India contributed to the global, landscape. And if you see, even if somebody started in 2000, somebody started in 2010, and the underlying thing is the availability of the software engineers of the pool of people who can carry out these tasks. I think this is where it all really happened, and this is the transition that has happened. Along this transition, I think you also guys, you also had probably the way engineering is taught, the way engineering education is offered, it's totally changed. Today, if you see, probably it is very wrong to compare what was the situation in '87 when we were into trying to be ambitious to get into engineering. At our time, I think that was the total number of seats were 1650. 1650 was the cutoff point where you get a seat in an engineering college. I think today you can put two zeros next to it, but still you can get a seat. But that post 2000, I think there was a very structured, very proper, aligned way of how people are trying to contribute, and each of them had a defined role. The industry was expecting to do a lot more value add work, and the institutions were trying to generate more quality engineers, and the faculty were from a very primitive situation to now the AICT had its own norms, and there are started giving autonomy to people to decide on what could be the best syllabus. So a lot of things have changed. Along the growth of software industry, there is also a growth in the way the industry is supplemented. So we have to be, everybody has to be thankful. You guys need to be thankful for the industry to absorb your engineers, and the industry has to also be thankful to the institutions for generating us and creating us a pool of people that has happened actually. So with this background, if you look at, if you take a pause and start looking at how situation has changed, I think the companies started using just initially they were using a website to do a customer interaction, and then the digital area started coming, and then the entire supply chains were merged, and then today if somebody buys a particular product in, let us say, a Walmart or a D-Mart or probably a Reliance Digital or Reliance Fresh, the supply chain is all integrated so that there is a backfill, there is a supply chain, everything is triggered. So the whole thing has changed. And now, to summarize where we are today I think when somebody says IT, it is no more a core web development or a core mainframe system, legacy system. Today, it is all about the Internet of Things, the mobility, the cloud, the big data, and of course the social media. A lot of things are, probably the way. Uh, a lot of things are probably the way it is happening for all of you. Why I have taken you through this cycle is that the way the industry has trends have changed, the way the industry expectations have changed, or the way the industry is operating today has a bearing on each one of you on this call, because all of you are probably 5 year back, the person who graduated from your college, what he was expected, what the campus companies were expecting from him, to what this is today they are expecting might have changed. And what I also saw is that majority of these engineering college students, what they do is that they at least 60% of them, they feel that the good grades, good engineering college will give them a good job, and that is the meaning of job. But outcome based thought process or outcome based education was probably missing in majority of the people. So uh, what if they decide very late in their cycle that, yeah, I don't want to do a job. In fact, I was telling Padmaja that we should have one complete session on what are the various streams what people work after just out of college, what are the various options or career options that people do have, whether you're from core branch or from the IT branch or from a digital courses or whatever it is. But once you are joining a college and once you have a career plan, you need to probably you join engineering by accident or by choice. Some of them parents, they cannot afford engineering at their age, so they will probably look at making seeing the dream in their children, so they put the children in engineering. And once they get into engineering, they feel that it is easy. They start finding challenges and they start getting disoriented towards the main agenda, and they started getting into, falling behind the objective of what was intended out of the college. So what I thought is that when you have made up your mind, and once you join a college like this, it is probably one of the best ranked college. I'm pretty happy to see the accomplishments of your other colleagues from computer science and IT branches, which are probably participating in hackathons and a lot of these things. So once a college like yours is offering such an environment of connecting you with all the paraphernalia that is required for you to make a successful thing. So it is up to you people to start absorbing it and start planning it and start thinking on what is that I need to do. I think that is where people should probably look at those key objectives, the three objectives they call it as awareness, self-initiation, and then going after the acquisition of those things. Like the first 2 years or 1.5 year, 2 years of your cycle will understand you to be aware what you are, what is your strength, what is that you are trying to wanted to achieve. That's what it is. Because in 10th class and intermediate, you go to those Narayana, Chaitanya, Ramaya colleges, you grind, you go through a lot of grind, and you feel that good grades will automatically put you there. But what we are seeing today, almost 1 million people are competing with those for those IIT, triple ITs, and the regional engineering college. I think close to, from what last I heard, is 1.1 million. That is almost 11 lakh people are writing the test for this premier institutions. If that is the level of interest and that is the level of competition that is running to getting into an engineering, imagine what happens post cycle. And India, on an average, produce around 30 to 40 lakhs fresh college out of freshers out of the college. And every company, IT, the manufacturing, everybody, if they start hiring you, even then you get left out. I think 5 to 10% of the people get left out. So early in the cycle, when you start getting into your awareness mode, where you start thinking, what is that I want to do, or what am I capable to, or what is that somebody like me who has done it and accomplished, and today he is doing probably doing better in society. That awareness is good. There is no harm. You can do higher studies. There is no harm. You can do your MBA. There is no harm. You want to do a job, and then post that you want to do a course, or you want to do uh, into teaching, whatever is that. But the key thing is that you need to decide very early in your cycle. Early in the cycle is probably a year, 1 year into your college. 1 year into your college, you're ragging and your happy days type of environment into your college. That movie, Shekhar Kambala's movie, is happened. Whatever is that what sort of situation happens, you make your friends, you start understanding people and all that. But that 1 year, that awareness is done, and second year probably definitely is the time where you need to seriously start thinking, what is that I want to do once I graduate from the college. And that is the time you start planning and stepping out for your action. I think this is what precisely is the make or break for a majority of you. The later you decide into your college cycle, that is the third year, fourth year, final semester, then the less chance that you will be not on a firm footage. You will still probably able to make it, but your confidence level or your comfort level in trying to do that may not be as as good as what probably a smooth transition from your planning to this. That is what I felt. So this is one aspect I wanted to share, and then there are. I just made a table so that I wanted to explain to you people on what really is the difference which we are seeing from people between college to the work of the world. I'm saying this. I'm saying this because I'm telling this out of what I see it on the ground when we are interacting with people, when we see the people from your colleges like you, and where I think I would like to highlight this. This is where I wanted to tell you that, and then probably take you through what can be done in a much better way. I think this is what I was trying to jot down quickly. If you look at it, is that let me take you before putting into this point. Let me take you through what is that typical career path in an IT, assuming that you're placed in Cognizant, TCS, Infosys, or any of this IT industry. What happens? What are the various paths that you travel through? Yes, it is expected 99% of the case times you're expected to do some coding. You're expected to start into a core development as a programmer job immediately of your branch, because don't be into the mindset that I'm a civil engineer, I'm a chemical engineer, I'm a mechanical engineer. Don't get into that mindset. It is the company's responsibility. Just like immediately of your MSET rank, immediately of your other background, your college is able to turn you out into a good engineer. It is now the responsibility is shifting from the institution to the industry, where the industry starts owning you and saying that this person, this branch, instrumentation guy or electronics person or a computer science person or a mechanical guy from Vidya Jyoti or whatever is the college, he comes into it. It is up to the industry. They have a very structured training curriculum that they put you. So you go through, you becoming a programmer, you get into a particular domain, a particular technology. You are a .NET developer, you are a Java developer, you are an SAP programmer, or you are a business object guy. you are a business object guy for a telecom domain, or you're a Java developer for a healthcare domain, or you're probably a .NET for an insurance company. There are technology, there is a domain that happens, there are multiple things that happen. And there is a testing stream that happens, quality engineering, which they call it as automation and a lot of things. So these are the various streams that happen where you join, you are taken up to a particular stream and you are assigned that, and you are expected to do that. And this is where I see majority of the people start getting disillusioned and started feeling that, hey, my friend told me that testing is not good, or my friend told me that .NET is not the thing, or my cousin started getting absorbed into Accenture and he is doing big data from day one, so probably I'm not doing well, and they start getting into disorder. So we tell clearly to people, just don't worry about which stream, which technology, because that is not a lifetime role for you. It doesn't happen, at least in TCS and a couple of companies which I work. I don't see anybody joining a particular technology and lifetime remaining like that in that technology. They change, they shift between technologies, they shift between geographies, they shift between domains. It all happens, and it happens for good for most of you. If you look at our cream of TCS, for example, I'm not taking it since I'm working out of TCS. I'm probably taking the examples of TCS, but the majority of our top management is completely in-house, inbred thing. If you see around 2018, our CEO has become a chairman, and the CFO has become a CEO, and somebody else has become a CFO. It has all become a very easy transition for us, where people internally have taken over the roles, where all these people have started their career with TCS 20, 25 years back as a programmer, as a developer, or in a mainframe, or in COBOL area. Those were the technologies they started. But as they passed by, they started taking new roles, new responsibilities, and people started excelling in that. So the lesson and takeaway for all of you is that whatever initial stream that was given to you was probably not the final stream for you. That is only a beginning, and it is just an entry into your corporate world, where what happens. So this is the type of roles that happen. And then the key thing that happens is that you're studying in a very closed friend circle, in an engineering college, in a very regional language, and completely in a rural background. And suddenly you're transformed into a corporate, into a metro like Hyderabad or Bangalore or Chennai or any of these cities. There you start feeling, started getting into in the company of new people, new friends, and everybody. So this is the second transition that you guys need to plan and prepare yourself for, because the more firm and clear you are in your mind about free and fair mind that you have, then the more chances are for you to learn and excel in things like that. There will be occasional gatekeepers where you have to have passed through some tests, you have to pass through some exams, you have to do some hands-on coding and prototypes and POCs and all. If you don't pass, they'll ask you to repeat it. That doesn't mean that you should get depressed or you don't get worried. You start getting worried that you are a disaster and all. That's what I was telling you, the cases where somebody is probably a class topper in Vidya Jyoti, your college, computer science guy. And once he comes to TCS or a Infosys or a Cognizant, he will be working with another topper of, let us say, a Gayatri College or a Geetam College or CBIT or any of the Vigyan or any of the colleges. There you started getting in the impact of not being the best, because you're the best of the best. The industry offers the opportunities for best of the best people. So this is where I feel that the career paths are different as you start with, and your journey should be equally resistant. You should be prepared to take some setbacks. You should be prepared to take some back steps to get back to. People say, the college is be like, 100-meter sprint, where you just have, one winner, that's all. And probably a job is probably like a marathon. Marathon is around 42 kilometers. You run 42 kilometers, and everybody who completes marathon will probably get a medal, where there is no first, second, or anything like that in a marathon, where you're passing through those 4, 5 stages. So your job is like that. You are coming from a swimming pool to a sea type of environment. It is very, very difficult. So let me present you some of my observations, so that you guys can probably look at what I've noted down to people, so that I can explain to you. So this is probably one of the points where I would like to tell you clearly that uh, in college you'll have a very quick and concrete feedback on what is your, if you have an internal exam, you have a final exam, you have a semester exam. There is a clear response that the exam is for 30 marks. You pass those, you get 27 or 28 or 39, or you get below the pass. Everything is very clear for you. Whereas here in the industry, once you join, it is a very unstructured thing, because you're actually dealing with the end customer. Imagine your uncle or your father or somebody goes to an SBI, and he asks for a particular information in the bank, asking for his report, or for his bank statement, or let us say his credit card report, or his outstanding demand, or what is the interest he gained, or something like that. That is the output of each of what people do actually on a job. There, the requirement might change. Suddenly, whatever people design, the output is definitely not based on clear defined like your internal exam. What happens is that if you take any of the banking or the telecom, or insurance, or manufacturing industry, what there is a different outcomes for each of the industry. So you as an engineer, you're coming out of college, you join a particular stream, and you're part of that product. Today, if TCS comes and tells that we are the core banking engine for SBI, or Infosys says that we have computerized the GST process, or somebody else comes and tells us that we have done the Aadhaar the project. So a lot of things happen. So you have a role in that. So where the feedback is very unstructured, because it's all dynamic. The second thing is that you in your college, the curriculum is fixed at the beginning of the year. Third year engineering, mechanical engineers will have theory of machines, fluid mechanics, and thermodynamics, and whatever is that. And for this is the recommended book, and this is the scope what we need to teach. Similarly, in computer science guys, they need to do operating systems, they need to do some Java. This is very structured. Whereas, as I said, uh, the business outcome, what you are part of, going to be very, very unstructured, and the environment is changing. The servers, the data centers, the internet connectivities, a lot of factors will make or break whatever you do. So imagine you are a part of you are a programmer for a project where you end up designing. This is where I feel that from a structured curriculum program environment to an unstructured environment that you end up with it takes into different directions. What happens sometimes, mergers, acquisitions happen. Sometimes banks or companies you know declare bankrupt, and they are getting into a situation. So this is very, very unstructured environment for all of you to start imagining. But the good thing is that you are part of that. Actually, you are part of that environment. And as I said, that once your academic session is starting, very few interruptions happens. I think this year, thankfully, I heard that all the colleges have swiftly acted for the COVID. Otherwise, barring the COVID, your college decides when is your exam, when is your college opening, when is your annual day, when is your freshers day, when is your internal exam. It is a very, very fixed schedule that you have from beginning of the year. Whereas here we have, it is a the program delivery is very structured. That the kickoff should happen so and so, the business requirement has to happen so and so date, the environmental testing, the go live, everything is very structured. And to make it happen during that time is going to be the big challenge for you people, because you have to live with it and all. And yeah, the good thing is that the other thing which I observed, which I was yesterday trying to note down, was that you have summer vacation, Christmas vacation, Sankranti vacation, annual vacations and all, whereas here you don't have any vacations. You probably have those government permitted holidays and long weekends and things like that. So this is going to be again impacting a lot of you when you start working in an industry where this transition from college to now. And then the other thing is that you have a lot of control on what you want to do. You want to go to college in your bus, you come back, you go to learn music, you go to guitar, you go and play with your pets, you go and play cricket, you do a lot of things on your thing. Whereas here, your schedule is controlled by your client. You're part of a client project where the client says that I want this to be done prior, I want this to be expedited, I want this to be closed. For example, let me tell you that right now, I think we have something called a peak season monitoring. The client which I work for, the client which I manage, there is something called in the US from October to December. This is the peak season for them. A lot of money transfers happens. All the banking industry will have a lot of people trying to do that. So once the peak season is on, there will be no code changes, but the system has to be up and running, and so nobody will have any holidays. Nobody is expected to take any break or anything like that. So these are directed, and your routine is indirectly controlled by others. Other is called the there is somebody other third party is managing your routine. Third party is controlling your routine. So in that case, you are bound to get disappointed. You're bound to get stressed out. You're bound to lose the momentum that you thought will be easy transition for you. Sometimes you'll say that my boyfriend's birthday is there, I could not go. My mother's wedding anniversary was there, and I'm stuck in office, I could not go. A lot of things happen. Actually, if you're in a college, you can plan it, and you can plan big bashes and things like that. Whereas in the job, people don't find, people plan, but whether it doesn't happen by plant or something like that. Whereas here in college, it is all question about your learning and intellectual challenge. Whereas in the industry, it is all about organizational policies and people and a lot of things like that. To continue this, yeah. So this is another thing where, as I was telling you, is that your performance is completely in your college, whether it is A grade, B grade, distinction, or whatever is that. Whereas here, when you come to industry, it is the output of the project that you start working that will decide. And in college, you are very much focused on your development and growth. You feel that, okay, I'm a mechanical engineer, now I need to learn AutoCAD. I'm a computer science engineer, I need to learn probably Java, because that's going to help me. Whereas when you start getting into the job, you're getting results for TCS, which is your customer's customer. That is your employee's customer's customer. That is what, let me explain to you what it is like. Let me take that example of, let us say, National Stock Exchange, or let us take where the IT system of Stock Exchange, the IT system of Bank of America, the IT system of, let us say, we are all mobile telecom users, the Airtel, the Vodafone, a lot of these companies, IT systems. But who is your customer's customer? That means Vodafone is your customer, where you are part of Cognizant Telecom business unit, you are part of TCS banking unit. So the banking customer is Bank of America, but Bank of America's customers, whether it could be a small company, a Pizza Hut guy who's using Bank of America for his day-to-day operations and bank things and all, this is what happens, where results for your customer's customer, that is where a lot of things happen actually, where you can't even get into the mindset of what is really they want and how imagine what is happening. Here, it's completely individual effort what you're doing is you study well, you go study well, you're able to get a sense of your achievement. Whereas here it is completely team effort. Where that's what I was trying to tell you that how I think I'll dwell a little bit on what I was thinking is that key things that you guys need to do is that in college it is completely an individual effort, whereas in the world of work it's completely a teamwork. You are as good as your team, you are as good as your deliverable. That's what happens. And also I saw that in college you have a clear answers. If there is a question, there is a syllabus, there is exams, people have right answers for most of the questions. Somebody gives you a problem in upload thermodynamics or a digital, microprocessor or whatever is the word, you will have right answers for it. Whereas in the real working environment, you don't have a right answers. It could be possible answers where what happens is this could be that. So this is bound to disappoint a lot of you people feeling that what else I can do? Why is that it's not still not working? It could be anything because you might have done a beautiful project, very nice code. As I was telling you that there are people who write a code which is like 18 lines, 20 lines code. There's somebody who can apply a fantastic logic and write it in 3 lines or 5 lines, where it can be a beautiful analysis. But that may or may not be the final answers for the problems that people have. Whereas here in college, the other aspect is that you have complete independence of your ideas and thinking. Yeah, today my exams are so and so date. I wanted to, and these exams are starting on, let us say, 15th October, and I want to prepare these exams this way. I'm weak in this subject, so I'll start preparing for this weak subject first, and I will probably go after my strong subject later. Or else you may decide that since I'm strong in some subject, let me quickly revise all these subjects, then focus on the tough subject as I come. You have your independence on choosing how you want to approach a problem, how you want to solve a problem. But here, as I was telling, is that it is completely a company's way of doing it, where how the company wants, whether it want to be deployed, it want to work on a weekend, it want to work on a midnight, or there'll be a windows. There's normally a window to deploy a particular deployment. What happens at that time? And then you are in college, your professors are the people who guide you, talk to you, mentor you, or make or break your career. Sometimes they threaten you with internal marks, failure, subjects, questions. Whereas here, the same thing happens is that you are with the bosses. Your bosses can be you're from probably a Rajahmundry, or you're probably from Hyderabad or Nizamabad or Warangal, and you may be dealing with a Bengali guy who's come from Calcutta, or you may be dealing with a guy who is probably from Kozhikode, or you may be dealing with a guy who's from Mumbai, born and brought up with a core Maharashtrian, but he is working on it. So you get to tend to get into a roadblock of all these people. What happens is that, and the last point which I want to tell you is that there is uh, in college, I think initiative is required, but you are probably fortunate to have an environment, a college, a labs, and probably a lot of things where you take input from your seniors, you take input from your professors. So there's a broadly the amount of effort and initiative is very minimal required, whereas in industry it is a lot of initiative is required. So this is what some of the points which I thought will be the key things that happens. Let me take a pause. If I have any questions to anybody, I will answer. Otherwise, I'll probably rush through some of my experiences of what people really face in this. When I showed you this 2-3 examples of what is between work, what is between college, what happens and all, I can share you some examples of extremely talented people, extremely capable people, knowledgeable people getting into a situation of no man's land, losing their direction, getting into depression. And we see everything. We're seeing every aspect of their career getting into a situation. There are some people who do very, very well. They're passionate. They enjoy that job. There are some people who were so good in learning coding and doing the C++ programming, and we see that. except that probably he's weak in his communication or his written in English or spoken English may not be very bad, very good, but he is extremely good. So I will take a pause here, Ballari, and I see if any questions are there. Otherwise, I probably proceed. Please let me know if some people have any questions.
Yes, Mr. Murthy, we do have around 3-4 questions.
Mhm.
Before that, I would, like to, just point out 2 points here, very important points that you've shared.
Mhm.
First of all, you did mention that these days it doesn't really matter, from which particular branch you come from, engineering branch you come from. Once
Mhm.
you join as a fresher, I think that's very, very important because students tend to have that feeling in their mind all the time that I'm from civil department, I cannot do this. I'm from mechanical department, I cannot do that. So that is a
Mhm.
wonderful and a very important point that you've mentioned. And
Mhm.
because we have students from, second, third, fourth year, MBA students are also, some of the MBA students are also there. I think that was a
Perfect.
very good point made. Thanks for
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
Okay. So I'll take the first question.
Mhm.
Okay, this is Naga Raju. He says, "Sir, I have a doubt. If we are in the industry for the first time, what should we
Mhm.
need to do? Like, can you please explain the procedure after getting call letter to stand strong in industry?"
Okay. Yeah, Nagaraju, I think that is the question which majority of your other colleagues on this call also will be going through it. See, I get a feeling. I am trying to share that experiences of people. Like I probably take a reference of what happens in TCS. Probably I don't want you to benchmark that what happens, but I see that experience. See, once you get a call letter, and there is a time period. In fact, this year guys are so lucky. I mean, this year your batchmate, your colleagues, your seniors, whoever are there in the final year, are so lucky that as promised, TCS delivered the offer letter to them as good as March, because they were supposed to join in May or June, depending upon their colleges. And they started getting paid. They are getting paid officially from the day they got the offer letter. But what happens when you join industry? We do a background check, and clients also ask for a background check, and a lot of things happens. There is a delay. During this delay, you are supposed to probably prepare yourself a little more. You're getting paid to learn. Whereas there you are paying to learn. In your college, you are paying fees to learn what is done. Whereas here you are paid to learn technology and all. So to Nagaraj's question, I think there are 3-4 aspects which I think probably people like you should start thinking. One is that which is the company that gave me a job? What is the role? If I'm getting into a programmer role, I think unfortunately or fortunately, today by default, Java is the default language that is expected out of all of you. You need to strengthen your Java and coding skills. You need to start applying your logical thinking, and you need to apply probably a little more of your communication, because that is going to be very, 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 very key thing. As I think this is the T20 era. We all know that you just need to be not a batsman. You need to be a batsman and bowler. Then you have a good chance. If you are also a batsman and bowler, then there you need to be somebody like Jadeja, or probably somebody who's very good fielder. So you need to have a batsman, batting, bowling, and fielding. These are the three skills. Batting is typically your core, your technical stream that you are trying to look at. And bowling is typically, probably, your analytical and logical skills and all. Fielding is your communication skills. If you map them, what happens is that if there is a team selection, only 11 people have to be selected. What happens? Teams take, okay, we'll take him as a batsman. Or if everybody, there are only 5 batsmen required and you have 20 probables, then this guy can also bowl medium length. So let us take him. That means you are technically good. Your analytical skills are very good because your reasoning and things. And then when everything is same, then they say this guy can also field very well. So they take people with good communication skills and all. So these are the 3-4 areas definitely you need to start, developing and paying interest to. In fact, I have another slide where I wanted to tell you a little more, 4 or 5 bullet points on the areas that are key components of an IT industry role. So to answer question, Nagaraj's question, he need to start practicing the coding skills, and Ideally, no employer will leave you alone. If your prospective call letter is there, they will guide you between this transition also, saying that you do this course, you do this. See, the one precaution I want to tell all these people on this call is that if there is a company that made you offer letter and they are expecting you to learn Java or Oracle or DBA, database administrator, or whatever is the thing, I don't want you to go to Ameripay and blow out money and spend money with your parents' money and trying to learn there. Your colleges themselves have a lot of labs. Your colleges themselves have a lot of faculty which can teach you and guide you into, handhold you into that area. So don't get into that mode of getting into tuitions, getting into college, paying money and taking. Don't need to do that. You do it at your pace because there is a chance that you have met all the basic criteria required for that company which gave you the offer letter. They will transition you to the role. But if you prepare this time, it will be definitely easiest for you, and it's a smooth transition for you. But I want you to start getting focusing on the key areas of this job. Okay, this is how I would like to answer Nagaraju. I hope it is clear, or you like to answer.
And that was great, Mr. Murthy. I think very well answered. Nagaraj, you should be very happy actually. Okay. And as you were saying, yes, we all need to be multitasking these days. Only one thing doesn't work out. I think as a fresher, as an experience in every field, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So we have another question here. As we know, TCS is the best company for IT and also for all the branches. Students who can, who have their career, who wants to prosper their career in IT field. But my question is, are there any scopes of getting core post in TCS? Because we have studied CATIA, AutoCAD, SolidWorks, where we can use some softwares in work field.
Yeah, that's definitely there. That's definitely there for option as an option. But yeah, see, since this question, this is a constant question that comes to me whenever we interact with students. This I think we should do away with the mindset of core versus IT versus digital. I think that people should remove it from the day one of your college. When you join, you are eligible for anybody. Today, if you look at the automobile industry, you look at take the case of automobile industry, for example. Who is a competitor for Ford and Chrysler or Maruti Suzuki or what? Who is a competitor? The competitor is Google and Facebook and Tesla. What does Tesla do? They write program for driverless car. And yesterday, I don't know how many of you people have read, last month, there were 4 successful consignment deliveries done by driverless cars in US, driverless trucks in US. They were delivered from one point to the other point. So the discussion is not about driverless cars here. The discussion is about what was driving this technology. The driving is you still need mechanical engineering knowledge. You still need those AutoCAD, CATIA, and things like that. But what you think there is a market there for that could be vanishing. There could be a geostationary satellite which can capture the entire maps and digitize it. There may not be need for those software. So you need to prepare for that sort of cultural or technical obsolescence, which could be what can be good today. We all have seen, I don't know how many of you see, we have seen mechanical typewriter to electronic typewriter to computer. Now, if somebody says, I want to go online and learn typing on a mechanical typewriter, people will laugh at it. Similarly, this core courses, what you're learning is good to have, and they may be definitely useful for you. To answer specific to your question, TCS per se has a center of excellence for this core, engineering information services. We call it as EIS. I will tell you by personal experience. When I'm not supposed to drop the client name. I joined TCS in 2010. Prior to that, I was in the US and all for 5-10 years. But the day I joined, I was given responsibility of one of the largest bank in the US. So that bank had a big setup in Bangalore and Hyderabad. So we were the vendors for them. We are giving people. We are having our people work out of their facilities. This example of CATIA and AutoCAD is bringing me to that in 2013-15, where they said that that particular bank want to have all their facilities in US engineering drawing should be there, where they wanted to have a drawings of all their facilities. And sitting somewhere in San Francisco or in Mumbai or in Delhi, somebody should be able to see how many branches I have across, how many of them are rented, how many of them are leased, how many of them are owned, and all that. And what is the area? Why do I need that much area? If, let us say, I have a branch in Charlotte in North Carolina, or if I have a branch in Tadepalligudem in, let us say, interior Andhra Pradesh, and the volume of transactions that happens there, let us say, uh, uh, on an average, not more than 10 customers come, or a typical branch, overall annual delivery is probably 10 crores or 5 crores, then they rate the branch as non-performing branch or a okay branch. So at that time, this AutoCAD is helping actually. So where they were trying to probably. Sorry, that was my daughter trying to question who was that. Okay, so this AutoCAD, we were struggling for AutoCAD skills. We were struggling for how can we get the skills, and then we have to draw upon a subsidiary of Tata's called Tata Consulting Engineers and Tata Engineering Services in Chennai. There were a huge battalion of people who are experts in AutoCAD 16. I don't know which version is running now, but there are close to 300 to 500 people working in AutoCAD. So they were having this Itakia, Katia, and AutoCAD and a lot of modeling things. So there was hidden demand. What happens is that we were trying to groom them, and we are able to get 20 people on that project, and they worked on that project for probably 9 months. And today TCS can take pride in saying that we are able to digitize the entire facility. And what happened as an after effect of us is that we were trying to tell all the retail stores, the Best Buy and Walmart and a lot of these things, saying that this can be a concept that can be extended and people can optimize their real estate. So the question the person has put to about this relevance, there is a center of excellence that we had called engineering services. We call EIS, Engineering Information Services, which is probably there were in US and Europe. I think a lot of this gas pipes will go through, the electrical pipelines will go through, the broadband wire will go through. A lot of these are under the foil. There are drawings in city planning. So there'll be a lot of opportunities. But if somebody comes and says that I studied Vigyan Jyoti mechanical engineering and I'm expert in this Katia software, I want a job from day one only on that, then very few people give them a job. He can get a job, but he need to wait for a year or so until they get a requirement. But I would advise that person keep that interest on, but parallelly develop the other skills. That's what I would definitely like to answer it.
Okay, thanks again for answering the question so patiently. Okay, so the next question is from our final year MBA, one of our final year MBA student, Akhila. Akhila says, thank you for presenting us an insightful session, sir. I would like to know which industry or domain is more advisable to MBA graduates for a better career growth in the present scenario.
Good, Akhila. You're talking to not just an engineer. I'm also an MBA. So yeah, I know what it was like when I did my MBA. My MBA is the one which made me come into IT. I was very much working in a manufacturing industry, and I just did my MBA, and I topped the university with some 2-3 gold medals and all. And then only the IT industries were giving the jobs that time, so I had to make a transition from manufacturing to IT. So to your question is the domain. I think there are four domains that are really, at any point of time you will really, be that will survive, or that will be there as long as humanity is there, or as long as businesses are there. So one is definitely the banking and financial services, the finance domain. Definitely that happens, because without money nothing happens. That is one domain definitely that you should start developing a flair or interest in that. The second domain definitely is the telecom and media, because today social media, the telecom, I don't know how many of you have seen the documentary on Netflix about the social media, You guys should find time to look at it. So media and technology is definitely telecom and media is definitely the another domain which will have a lot of lot of opportunities that coming up because we are communicating now. We basically believe in communicating. Earlier it was through letters, then it was telegrams, and then fax. A lot of things now it's all WhatsApp and social media things like that. So the media domain definitely happens, and then the TV media, the internet and telecom media, it will also be booming and it will survive. It will grow. It will change. It will evolve, but it will really be happening sort of thing. So so that is definitely the second thing. Definitely, I would advise you people start developing. So I will tell you that when you choose a domain, what happens is that, let us say telecom. In telecom, what happens is that there is a telecom billing. How does the telecom companies bill? If you guys recollect, I think Docomo, I said 1 paisa per second was the billing, and they just shattered all other billings. And when Geo came, they said all incoming was free, and a lot of things happened. So uh, the telecom billing or credit cards, the payments, the core banking, within the finance itself, there'll be a lot of capital markets, retail banking, and community banking. A lot of areas, sub areas are there in the banking area. Similarly, in telecom, a lot of areas happens. So you start exploring this area. If you start reading economic times, because you're an MBA, I'm sure you're reading economic times. You see economic times. It is such a beautiful thing. Every page has something or the other where there's some incident that happened. Some government puts a restriction on some port. How does it impact some other country? How does it impact some airline? How does it impact one business, one industry, jute industry or sugar industry or what happened? So you should start reading that. So, but my strong advice is the banking, telecom, and insurance and media. I think these are the 4 or 5 domains. Definitely will be of key importance to growth. They will be there as long as businesses are there.
So you aren't audible?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine now. Yeah, I'm fine now. Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. That's really helpful. We have few questions on YouTube as well. Let me take up the first one. Okay, this is from Hari Vamshi. He says, "Sir, if we got a software job but we don't know coding, in that case, can we serve the company or not, sir?"
Yeah, definitely. I think I told you I answered this also earlier.
Yes, right.
That they will allow you to learn. They will train you to do that. It is the responsibility of the people. You see, it is like when you passed your +2, you passed MSET, and you say that I just joined Vijay Jyoti, Vijay IT, and then I don't know whether I'll be able to do the lab properly. I want to do this, but it is the responsibility of the professors and teachers how they structure. They keep in mind the best performer, the very fast grasping guy to an average guy to below average guy. They know that in a class, this is a mixture of the people. Similarly, when you take people in industry, I don't think you should get into any fear about not being able to program. People should be able to do programming very well. I don't think that fear should be there.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. There's another question on YouTube from Riaz. He says, "Sir, do we have anything related to machine learning in TCS?"
Wow. Without that, I think machine learning, artificial intelligence, media, and robotics, and these are we as managers and as the people who manage projects, we are given a mandate to get 20% of the revenue, 20% of the opportunity in this area. We call it the business 4.0. We call it as a TCS business 4.0. We call it as we are supposed to look at the cloud, social media, there are big data, blockchain, and these are the 4 or 5 areas. Definitely, there is always a chance, and we are advising people to start migrating their platforms and their opportunities into this area.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, so Nagaraju has another question. He says, "Sir, I'm from Anurag Engineering College from CSC, and I've participated in TCS Ninja and TCS Code Vita. So Code Vita Challenge. So if I stood top with these tests, can I get an offer letter from TCS?"
Yeah, obviously there is definitely if you're in fact, there is a huge demand for code vita and trainees, and there is a digital trainee. In fact, you get 10 lakhs per annum salary if you're performing very well there. All the code vita people are automatically given. In fact, code vita, they're all the property of the CTO, Chief Technology Officer's domain. They get directly go there and work with them on the new areas and all. It's a fantastic thing, actually.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So as of now, we are done with the questions. I think we can go back to the interesting slide that you had to share with us.
Yeah, I think I have the last slide. I think I would like to show this so that we can wind up the session.
Yep.
Yeah, this is what I was trying to summarize. These are the 4-5 things which I am seeing that people should start planning. First year, second year, third year, whatever is that. You need to have a very good communication skills. And key and important thing is you need to be part of a good team. You cannot be an individual player anymore. You need to be part of the teamwork. So I see people coming, coming from different backgrounds. They have a lot of mother tongue influence in their communication. They start getting into a team which are all with the metro educated and cosmopolitan background. Girls, boys, they come from rich family, they come from poor family. So a lot of things, and that is a team but works, and you need to deliver. You should not probably get into the situation where people should not worry at all for that. So you need to be a very good team player, and you need to start preparing yourself on how to adjust to the new environment. You had good fun with your friends for 4 years. Once you finish that, now you need to start. You cannot be still looking at connecting with your friends, and it's good to be connected back with those friends, and nobody says that you should cut off your links, but your focus should be trying to make friends with a new environment, new people, strengthening, learning, giving, taking, a lot of things. I think the key thing is teamwork. Communication skills, as I told you, that IT industry is all about communicating. You talk to your teams, you understand with your clients, you communicate with their clients. In a day, typically, you start responding to 50 to 60 mails. You start getting 50, 60 mails. You start responding to some good mails. You need to write and draft things like that. So your reading skills, your writing skills, they are very, very key for each of you to start developing those things. Team, I think I told you, you need to be part of the team, whichever background, whichever religion, whichever region you come from, you need to be part of the team. And as I also told you, the key important thing which we are seeing is that your problem solving skills are very, very important for you people. How a problem is solved, how a project can be thought about. You always it will be interesting session to sit into a workshop in an IT industry where they start putting blocks and thinking that this is the customer, this is the logistic company, this is the bank, this is the system, this is the input, that is output. So what is the logic? What happens is that eligibility, non-eligibility, credits, overlap, a lot of things, and there's problem solving skills are very, very important. I think that's where I think most of these campus interview tests, you have analytical tests like your CAT exam, you need to have that. And the other thing which we are also seeing is that you need to have an initiative to start, getting into more comfortable and more performing onto the job. You need to do that because and always you need to have the initiative to take proactiveness, or whatever is assigned to you, you need to take it, or if you have a doubt, you need to ask for it, you need to get supplement. If there is a work assigned to you and you feel that you're stuck somewhere, you need to have that initiative to drive it, go to the support group. Let us say your PC is not working, your internet is not working, or you are supposed to work on, let us say, a particular software, you don't have that software, you need to have a IS team come and install you that software. A lot of coordination should be there, and you need to be proactive in that. And then interpersonal skills are very, 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 very keen. How good you are with people, how unfriendly are you, how friendly you are. I think this is what I was telling you, a couple of cases where people with nominal performance in their college, probably they were very good with friends, they were very good native intelligence they had, but they never exerted themselves in the college, but they will probably do it. And then the last one is the other important thing is the commercial awareness you need to start developing. You can develop a solution, but how expensive is that for it? How costly? So you need to, as you start getting into the job, you need to start doing it, whether it requires 3 people, 20 hours, or 2 people, 1 or 5 hours. This commercial awareness should start building into your mindset. Otherwise, all the work will not be of much relevance to you people. But what I want to tell you is that the above all is that you need to look at your self-initiation. You be aware about the let us 5, 6 skills that we talked about. You start acquiring these skills. I think that's what I felt that these are the ones definitely very key and very important for you people to start developing and things like developing for as you start getting ready for the job. I will probably take a pause here, and I will tell you a couple of cases. I think we still have how much time we have? Another 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
Yeah, sure, sir.
Yeah, sure. I will tell you a couple of cases. Some of them are very funny. Some of them are really sharp. Some of them are good. Where people, how they lose their direction, how they lose their focus, and things like that. Where a lot of cases we see where people come from proper recruiting, they get into the job, they get well, they study, then they start developing attitude, they started developing the detachment, and they start feeling that suddenly they are in Hyderabad, they are in a flat with on their own. People who are very closely monitored and mentored and micromanaged by their parents till the time they get into the job. We see even people who get the offer letter, the parents coming and dropping them at the gate of TCS to get them on the date of joining, and then there is nothing for you people to, if you are so micromanaged, and next day we see people on the floor trying to call their parents saying that this is not working. See, you start you will definitely be a failure if you are trying to be so over dependent on your career, on your micromanaging by your parents. You need to get yourself into a self-reliant mode. There are a lot of cases, I think, we see where people lose the whole thing. There are people who suddenly not able to absorb this freedom. They get into drinking, pubs, partying, and a lot of negative things. Similarly, there are people who come from a very rural background, lower middle class. Father is a farmer, mother is a carpenter, mother is a maid. Lot of different background, social strata. They grab this opportunity and they feel that this is a golden opportunity. It is the same opportunity for that guy as well as for you, for this person, but they lose the track. They lose the track because it all depends upon what you think as your priority. Suddenly they start feeling that they should do MBA and this is not, the technical is not cut up for them. They feel that this is not correct. But I feel that at least, see, let us say TCS takes 20,000 people every year, okay? And our attrition in training, in the trainees are typically, I think, 3 to 5%. That means close to 500 people, 1,500, 150, 300 to 400 people. I think they go for higher studies, or they get married. Girls get married and they go to US because they've joined their husbands. A lot of reasons happens. But the rest of the people, as they move along, we feel that they lose the complete direction. They are clueless on what they want to become, why they joined this job. They see the salary, they start taking a loan, they want a bike, they want a car, they want to live a luxurious life. Those are all definitely a recipe for disaster. I can tell you people that if you are thinking that your professors and your college is making you ready to get a 30,000, 40,000 rupees salary, that is not for getting drunk and getting caught by the police or something like that. This is for you to learn, be respectful for the society, pay taxes, be good to what happened. Be thankful to your college and your parents for putting you to that stage. So you have every sort of cases. It can be a one session by itself on what can be the wrong priorities, what can be the right priorities. The right priorities are all cases where they learn so well. They take advantage of the learning environment, the mentoring, the coaching, things like that. They learn a lot and they excel very well. but the people there, I don't know what really was seeded into their mind in third year, fourth year sort of thing. They should not think that a job will come with these things. That they have the freedom to spoil their careers, freedom to do that. So I feel that those are the do's and don'ts definitely, which are external to this. Actually, I would definitely like to say that.
Yeah, that was amazing. And so I feel, in a nutshell, what you wanted to explain was like all of us need to balance our lives to some extent.
Yes, sure.
Keeping our limits intact and be sensible enough and try to keep on learning. Because without learning, I don't think so there is anything that we can win, we can gain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was really nice. So we have another one or two questions. Can we take them?
Yeah, sure. Let's go. Let's keep a target 6:15.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so all right. I think that Nagaraju, if you're there, if you can unmute yourself and ask the question yourself, that'd be great. Nagaraju, if you're there, because this is his third question.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let me just read out then. Okay. If I have an idea to develop a mobile app which might be useful to the company and society, all right. Okay. So I basically want to I have an idea of developing a mobile app which might be useful to the company and society. Now I'm not capable to develop that app. I don't know. Maybe in future it is possible or not. So if I give my idea to the company, will that company give me any benefits like a job or money or anything else for an idea?
Yeah, I think it's a good question people had. I don't know. It's same Nagaraju, is it?
Okay. Yeah.
See, there's something called, I think if you have a good idea, you should take it to your college. I think in TCS, we have something called a co-innovation network, COIN, they call it as, where TCS collaborates with institutions, venture capital funds, and everybody to develop ideas and protocols and things like that. So if your college innovation cell or your college team can probably put together a plan and propose it to TCS, definitely you will have the IP. Your company, your institutions are, because as an individual you can drive it, but that is like you go to a T-Hub and find some guy sell it. I don't know how many of you guys watch. Ballari, do you watch Shark Tank? Do you watch Shark Tank?
No.
No? Okay. I advise you that you should watch that serial Shark Tank in Netflix. It's a very good.
Sure.
Padmaja, you also should start watching once in a while. Do you watch that? Yeah. Shark Tank is a beautiful. It decides in 5 minutes whether somebody's idea is worth marketing and taking it further. Or it's an amazing serial. Okay. So you should watch it. Similarly, this guy, whosoever is having an idea, should put it to college. And college can package it rightly, and they can collaborate with our TCS Coin network, co-innovation network, where TCS takes ideas and encourages, and they remain. The ideas and the IP will remain with that company or the individual, whatever happens. And once it is deployed successfully, you have your commercial benefit, you have your commercial, there is a clear contractual obligations and things like that. Yeah, that's what I would like to answer that question.
Oh, so that's really nice thought from TCS. We can always do that. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so as of now, we don't have any more questions. So just wanted to add on when you discussed regarding the skills that students need to be updated on. So the communication skills that you mentioned about that English part where you told that, whichever background we are from, whichever mother tongue we have, most of the time people when they speak in English, that cut most of the time. So I think that's a very valid point. I always tell the students the same thing, that the English should be spoken English way.
English is the ID language.
Right. Yeah.
You have your Toastmasters? You have a Toastmasters in your college?
Yes, we did. We did try to initiate it. We had a meeting in our college, so we want to do it once again.
Good channel, actually. We have
some other Hindu step is there, and British Cambridge English BEC
BEC
is
is
there.
there, yeah.
That course we are running. We also have one IUC English course is there. Under that, we want to start one club also for it.
Perfect. Yeah. Like Bellary is telling that you need to develop communication. And that is one thing you need to start from first year onwards.
Absolutely.
Because that you won't pick up overnight. Communication will not develop overnight.
Yeah, in fact, like this year, we had 7 branches, including AI, and for the first time ever in VJIT, we started off placement-related or career-related classes on communication skills. And I was the one who used to take the classes most of the time.
Very good, very good. No, I think you're not because both of you are there on the call. I think your college is little very structured and you're doing lot of things. I wish the students appreciate it more than me because they need to realize how much efforts you guys are trying to put into because I keep connecting with Padmaja on and off in some forum or the other. So I keep knowing a lot of initiatives that you are trying to do. So this is a good opportunity for the people, whether it is communication or any of the things. I think good. It's good that you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Murthy, for an amazing session.
Now, any of the students would like to ask questions directly, they can ask.
Yes, you can always unmute yourself and ask questions. If any faculties are also there, you are most welcome. Please unmute yourselves and ask questions. Ma'am, I think there are no more questions.
Yeah, you can carry.
Okay, then I would request Padmaja ma'am to please, end the session with a vote of thanks. And thank you very much, Mr. Murthy. We had a great time and it was very, very informative, very helpful for the students. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, MS sir, for giving the very important session for our students. And also from the management side, I would like to thank MS sir from Anara Group and as well as Vijaya Jyoti Management. And this session was very nice. And I hope all the students have grabbed some of the points which are essential for the students. They're going a lot of transition period now due to COVID. So many problems they're facing, but still they're doing very well. I must appreciate our students' efforts also. They're doing wonderful job. They're not only from attending classes, they're also doing additionally, some of the students are doing additionally internships and they're working on some projects. They're helping outside also some of the COVID patients and our NGOs and HITA, one group is there where they're actively donating every week. They're conducting donating money or something or other to the COVID patients also. Our excellent, we have an excellent student group is there, and I must thank our students also for doing all the whatever is there in the campus. They're grabbing, and I'm sure in future also they'll do the same thing. Thank you very much again, sir.
Yeah,
sir, before ending the session, if I may request you to just share one sentence for the non-CAC, non-IT students, because there are a few questions on YouTube where they are asking like, sir, what about the non-CAC, non-IT students? What are the chances of us, grabbing a job as a fresher?
The chances are high. The chances are definitely high. In fact, I would say the chances are equal as long as you are motivated and you are trying to. It's all on your initiative. I don't think TCS or any company comes and says that this year we are going to take only IT people or from computer science or something like that. No, even otherwise also, a job is not just an IT job. As I told you, automobile industry is booming, the technology, the telecom industry is booming, the insurance and the banking is growing. So you get a job in every industry. You cannot really be, if you are really obsessed to work in IT industry, you should join computer science branch. If that is the fear in your mind. But if you have taken a civil engineering or a mechanical engineering and still you wanted to just work into IT, there are paths and there are channels. But if you are still, confused, I think you should really clarify this with your people on what is your meaning of job, what is your meaning of success or happiness. Because L&T or Hyundai or Suzuki Motors or probably BHEL, any BARC, for example, Department of Atomic Energy or Department of ISRO, all these are very good job they give for any branch people, science, engineering, technology. These are the three streams which people give you a job. So you should be able to plan it. That way you better plan your what you want in first year. But I would definitely like to conclude and say that there is no disadvantage per se for a non-IT guys. For there is definitely equal opportunity for you people to do that.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, then. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Bye bye. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
అయిపోయిందండి మాట్లాడుకోరు